All right, all there. What's up, sucker? Once again, we're live, back again. It's been a week or two now. I'm still in recovery.
Yeah.
Right here, no, this foot.
Damn.
Thank you.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, this eight screws. I think, and I saw the X-ray, dude. I think some Mexican went off with the screw gun that stopped him because they start off like in order, and then there's all these just jammed in there, and I was like, they probably, hey Pedro, and they stopped him, and so there's a whole bunch, and I think that's why there's also got lumpy on that one. But anyway, man, we're back again, healing up. We're back with a guest. Y'all seen him before, probably a little bit more and a little bit less of him on Naked and Fred, the sissy version. I did the real version in prison. Put your hands together for my friend Justin Governable. The crowd goes silent.
Can you edit like the sounds in?
Yeah, we'll add the sounds in, bro.
Yeah.
So what's up,
Yeah,
sucker?
dude.
What you been up to, man?
Fuck, man. Hanging out, bro. Been in corporate America, working.
Corporate America. What do you mean
dude.
corporate America? What? So
Like they fired 1,000 people on Monday, bro.
at your job?
At my
Can you
job.
say where you work?
I choose not to.
Okay, so I'll say
just
it.
in case.
Okay.
But dude, it was insane. The CEO sent me.
Could you say what type of work it is?
I work in tech.
Okay.
I work in Austin.
Well, that kept it.
Like I won't say the company name because I'll say
But it
something else.
rhymes with.
No. Because like I don't want to do this shit forever. Fuck no, dude. Like
No.
I definitely don't.
Well, then we can get you out of there quicker than you think, dude.
You know what? I work at
Yeah.
I work at Target, dude.
And so you.
No, it's dude, on Monday the CEO sent us an email and he's like 30 minutes I'm having a meeting with like everyone in the company. I'm like, what the fuck? Like it's either going to quit or they're going to fire everybody. And my buddy started messaging me and he's like, bro, layoffs, man. There's no way. And I'm like, you think? I'm walking my dog because I work from home, right? But it's like a super real, like you're at your computer working, right? And yeah, he's like, dude, I think they're gonna lay people off. So I'm like, all right. So I hop on the call and he opens the call and he's like, good morning. You probably are all wondering to yourselves, or you're probably thinking to yourself, if you get an invite on Monday morning, 30 minutes before the meeting starts, that it's not good news. And I just want to confirm it's not.
And this is who? The CEO?
Yeah, the CEO. And he's like, within the next hour, it was like Hunger Games, dude. It was like, within the hour, 1,000 of you will get an email.
Oh, shit. Just like that? And
And
how many people work for this company?
like 12,000 plus.
Oh, okay.
It worked. Now it's
So you
less
had
than
some
that,
decent
but-
odds.
Yeah, I had good odds. Like I didn't lose my job, but it just made me realize, man, like corporate America, bro. Like I was a scout sniper in the Marines, right? I fucking fought professionally for a long time, black belt jiu-jitsu, naked and afraid, whatever, man. Did all this dope shit, dude. And now I fucking work in tech, right? And so it's crazy because I got my degree and, you know, people were posting on the channel. They were posting stuff like, this was my dream job. You know, I can't believe like I was let go. And then like someone else posted like, been here over a decade, over a third of my life dedicated to this company.
So it wasn't like the newer hires that they like.
No, they like, and some other dude was like, I was a top performer last year, you know, and I get it. Like companies have to do what they have to do, right? But it just kind of goes to show you that like we all have this image of like what we want to do in life, and everybody's just like, yeah, like, and I've kind of gotten stuck on that path, right? I'm like, yeah, and it'll work out.
What
but
did you realize that you don't have control?
No, it just like nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares about you, man.
Not that. I have some in the freezer.
Yeah,
You want one?
I'll take one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some other shot glasses in the freezer. You seen them? Sorry, man. Didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry, man. You know, my producer Josh is an alcoholic, and
Yeah, dude.
and then we're doing
Dude, I saw
do
him
a
drinking.
shot.
He was drinking. Josh Cabazzo was drinking at like 9 a.m, dude.
Oh, I know. He always drinks at like 9 a.m,
Yeah.
dude.
He's gonna edit that out, dude.
There's shot glasses in the cabinet. I promise you, yeah.
So it's just a trip, man. Like,
And so what are you realizing about this tech job when you've done all this other crazy shit? Isn't it weird that is this the most you stress out than all that other shit you went through? And this is how
a small part of me was actually hoping that I would get fired.
I bet, but at the same time,
No, dude,
you're like a quiet quitter.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you are, Justin. You're a quiet quitter.
No,
You know what that is?
I'm doing my job, bro. I'm doing everything I got to do, but like, and like, it's not even that much money anymore, right? Like, I make over 100 grand, and like, that's not even a flex anymore because it's not that much money, dude.
Listen to that, ladies. You hear that? Josh makes over 100 grand, but he's not going to be making it for long because he's going to get fired or quit.
Yeah, probably.
So,
But like,
and
it's not even that much money, bro.
there's those Can you hand one of those cucumber twangs? It's over there. I got my buddy from Twang. Shout out to Twang.
Yeah.
Roger came by and dropped off.
Twang?
It's right here on the count. It's no, on the bar.
Dude, even right now, like, I'm starting to, like, budget
bar.
and, like, you know, you think in your head, like, you make $100,000, you don't have to budget, you don't have to do shit. That's not the case, man. I'm like,
fuck yeah, you do, because
dude,
you want to
like,
spend more, too.
I'm, like, looking at my
Thanks.
I make calculations on my phone. I'm like, all right, for the next 7 days, you can only spend $55 or whatever the fuck. Like, I, like, come up with these calculations. Even right now, I needed a Diet Coke to, like, wake up for some caffeine, right? And I was gonna buy it, and then when they charged it, they were like $3.28 or some shit for just a small Diet Coke in the bottle. And I was like, damn, for just a Diet Coke. And then they're like, you know, if you buy the big one, you can fill it up. It's 78 cents. And I'm like, yeah. And like, you would figure you make enough money that shit doesn't matter. But where I'm at, you know, I'm like, fuck no, I'm not paying fucking $3 plus.
We just went to HEB a little while ago, dude. And
yeah, everything's so expensive, dude.
Josh, what are you doing? All right, man. Well, here's
Cheers,
to
dude.
being back on the podcast. Josh, cheers.
Cheers, dog.
You want any of this?
Nah, I'm good. Nah, dude, I'm straight. Like, actually, like. But yeah, man. So that's what I've been up to. I've been doing like comedy and stuff. I did a show a couple weeks ago with Uncle Laser. That was dope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If I'm being real, the first show I bombed.
You worked with Uncle Laser. And for those of y'all who don't know, Uncle Laser is Justin's uncle that used to touch him when he was in Laredo.
He's what made me funny.
Yeah, in different ways. So
Uncle
he's
Laser's
the guy that came out on Kill Tony.
Yeah.
That became a regular.
Bro, I saw him perform a couple years ago, and honestly, he's always been funny, right, naturally. But like, dude, you can tell that he's been doing a lot of shows. You could just tell how like
repetition to help
dude,
him.
it's insane. Like now he like knows like how to work the crowd and like how to. Like, before, he would just say shocking shit. Now he's, like, setting it up, and he's painting a picture. And I talked to him about it after, and he's like, dude, I started writing. Before, I was just being funny, and I think we all get caught in that process, right? But, like, yeah, the first show, if I'm being real, I did 4 shows. The first one, I fucking bombed, bro. I, like, went up, and I was just, like...
Corpus?
In Corpus, yeah. At the Mesquite Pizza Street or whatever it's called.
Mesquite Street.
Yeah, Mesquite Street Pizza. And so the first one I bombed, and it was just like, damn, that's his first impression of me, and I got pissed at myself. And I went out there the second show, and I just fucking... I did good, right? I hate being that guy, like, I fucking killed it. I feel like you're kind of gay when you do that shit, right? But I had 3 really good shows right after that, and I was like, damn, like, all right. And then, you know, Laser after was like, hey, man, that was good. And I was like, man, I had to make up for that first one. He's like, oh, that first one wasn't good. And we started laughing. He's like, it happens, brother, it happens. And, like, you know.
You went up there and did a Cody Odell? Did you see Cody?
No. What did he do?
He was on Kill Tony, and he went up, got up there, and then he bombed, dude. He bombed. It was bad. Hey, Cody, shout out to Cody. What's up, Cody? But Cody went out there and fucking woo. And they told him he's a homeboy from here, from San Antonio.
Yeah.
They told him that was the worst set that they'd ever seen. He said, you mean on Kill Tony? And the dude said, no, ever. He said, ever in comedy. Yeah. Yeah, he told him.
And he's been doing comedy a minute?
14 years. When he told him he'd been doing it 14 years, they were like, what? They said, man, don't ever do comedy again. Damn, and all this stuff. And he handled it pretty well, because I've seen him cry after not advancing in the funniest in South Texas here. He was all upset because we didn't advance. I didn't advance either, and I laughed and he cried. And I was like, dude, we got what we deserve, dude. Like, we put in the results that we looked for, you know. You're there to shock people, and I just didn't do open mics, you know. And it really hurt him, because he moved to New York. When Raul moved to New York.
Yeah.
And they had asked Joe List, right, did you ever see him in New York? He was like, nope, never saw him in New York. And they were like, and then they even gave him a chance. They said, okay, man, you've been doing it 14 years. We're going to give you a chance to go back out there and do your best joke in 14 years. Do your best joke to redeem yourself. Go do it. He should have just left.
Shout out, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, and then he said what really it didn't go well, because the interview, then he said, well, I've seen some people come out here and kill it, and then they suck everywhere else, or something like that. And they were like, oh, really? Like,
yeah, don't.
Yeah, and then
I don't know the dude, right? But like, don't, bro. Sometimes you got to take the. I didn't watch it. I don't know him. Just in general, it's like take the L sometimes, bro. It's like whenever, bro. One time I was hitting on a chick, and then things didn't go my way, and then I walked away. And how many times have you ever done the like, man, I should have said this and that. Well, my stupid ass went back. And I walked back up to her and I was like, hey, you know when you said this and that, what I was gonna say
You George
is
Costanza
this.
did, dude.
And then it got worse. And she was like, okay. And I was like, and I panicked and I left. I was like, fuck, never do that again. And like when I just started
panicked and I left.
dude, and like yeah, so then I followed her home, dude.
Yeah,
Nah,
and
but-
then when she got out of the car, you taught her a lesson.
yeah, I was like, quit playing hard again. Fucking-
Yeah. No means yes today.
yeah, and fucking Jesus. Yeah, dude. No, I work for tech, bro. I can't be saying that stuff. No. And
Tell us what you work for, bro.
Yeah, and yeah, I did that one time with a joke. I like fucked a joke up, and then I kept going, and then I'm like, oh no, actually, what I meant to say, and then it fucking everybody just like, but I was like early on in comedy, and everybody just sat in their chair, and like right then and there, I was like, never do that again. So I've literally been doing it where I fuck a joke up, and I'm like, they don't know that. And sometimes you go and it still works, and then sometimes you drop the punch, but because you fucked it all up and you like gave away the pun, like
Yeah,
you know, and nobody laughs, and you're like. So I started in the Marine Corps doing Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and I go to like my first bit I ever did, just fucking.
You fucking go to your rescue joke.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's a common thing, and it's hard because like you've been doing it what 4 years,
Yeah, 4.5 years now.
4.5. Okay, when are you gonna film your special, bro? It's already been 4.5 years, bro. You're like 4 years and
dude. Yeah,
and
nah.
5 months behind, bro. So like when are you gonna like that? So but when you do it, you have to shit can all the shit you've been doing, you know?
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Like once you release it, it's
Yeah, because like me,
fresh
I
start.
feel like I've been telling these stupid jokes a lot here, but it's in town, and I'm gonna get them right because once I put it on a fucking thing, and then it's gonna go out, and then that's it, then 15 fucking years
yeah.
gone, dude. I gotta say goodbye, and you only whip them out on the road somewhere, you know, or I don't know what you do then.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I finally.
I think it'll hurt to say goodbye to some of these jokes, dude.
Yeah, I think so too. I've done like 30 a couple times. I feel like if somebody were like do 45, I could do 45. I'm not gonna sit here and be like I've got an hour because I'm lying. I could for sure occupy an hour, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna be like a fucking solid. And that's just me being real with myself, right? Because, but on the same note, the first time somebody asked me to do like 20, can you do 20? I was like, yeah, and I did, but I did a lot of like.
Ohs and ends.
Yeah, and like I did a lot of like, man, one time a guy had a seizure, like as I went up.
Oh, badass.
Right? Like no, I went up and I was doing a show at that. What is it? The one in Dallas, like Hyenas or
The blind seizure?
yeah. No, what is it called? Hyenas
Yeah.
in Dallas, right? And I was doing one with like Davey and this guy named Joey Leonard, and like as I got up, I just was saying a joke about like about someone dying or some shit. And then so you just heard everybody, oh my God. And then I was like, huh.
You
And
thought
then I
you were
like,
killing it with the joke?
yeah. No, dude, I like look and they turn all the lights on. They're like, oh my God. And just on the floor fucking seizing. And they just like run up to me. They're like, yo, get off, like get off stage. And I just fucking, and I got off stage. And dude, they brought in the fire department and he just wakes up, bro. And he's like, all got vomit all over him. And he's like, and he just fucking walks out with all the medics. They like walk him out. And then they're like, and they turn off all the lights and they're like, all right, here's the microphone. And
So
then
you're
they're
supposed
like,
to go back up and finish now?
so they're like, go back up and do 15 or go back up and do whatever the fuck time I had left.
So what'd you do?
And so it was funny because they didn't like, they just on the fly were just like fixing it. So the song I remember specifically was the Miley Ray Cyrus one, right? And they're like, all right, we're going to restart the show. Give it up for Justin Governable. And the song that was playing, throw your hands up, wave them up high.
that's right,
Like,
okay.
yeah. And I get up there and I start dancing. Like, yeah. And then they cut it. And I was like, throw your hands up, wave them up high. Like there wasn't a fucking guy just dying right there. And everyone's like, I'm like, talk about killing it, right? Like super low hanging, right? And all I did was make fun of this poor dude for like 10, 15 minutes.
Good thing he saved you.
And I was like, and it was right on the part when I was talking about killing this, and then what are you doing? And I actually did very well, and then time was up, and I was like,
well, he might be happy to know that his seizure wasn't in vain then.
yeah, that his seizure wasn't what?
In vain, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. You know what, dude? Thanks. Shout out for the seizure, dude. Like,
Fucking taking the fucking bullet for the fucking 4 years.
yeah, for the bit, bro. He fucking
I-
almost died for the bit.
We were
bro.
at, I was in Dallas too, though, with Carlos and with Carlos Mencia, and this dude felt like face first, so just face down on the fucking table. He was all drunk, and he was with his wife and his older, like, adult children. and he fucking face planted on the table, and they started going, "Oh my God, no!" And they stopped the show like that, and they turned the lights on, and the fire. They called an ambulance, and that's when Carlos said he was talking about using an egg, that Mexicans use an egg, and that lady, the same lady at the table, had yelled, "Well, it works." And then her husband fucking passes out, and then he goes, "It's all quiet, dude." And they moved all the tables away, and the dude's laid on the ground now because he wouldn't wake up. He was face down. It's just quiet, and Carlos goes, "Why don't you try rubbing an egg on him now, bitch?" Just fucking, it was like it came from like the sky, dude. Dude. And everyone went, "Ah!" And then she stopped. "That's not funny." Because all the tables were moved. So she went right to the stage in front of everyone. Look at him. Look, he could be dying.
That makes it better, dude.
So then everyone just went back down. She sucked all the energy right out. So we all got quiet again. And then the fire department came, put him on. It took like 15, 20, 30 minutes or something, you know. They put him on a stretcher and everything, and they took him out. And that, "Shame on you," the lady they all left. "Shame on you," she yelled at Carlos on the way out. And then they went out the door and they put the tables back and everyone sat down. He goes, "Is that bitch gone now? Can we do?" And then and then it just went on, you know.
You gotta address it, dude.
You got. Like, you got to though. I mean, that's their fault.
Like, I won't say his name for the sake of being my homie. No, I won't say his name, but like one of the comics that's been doing it around the same time as me. We were doing the LOL open mic, and he started. The person that went up before him is a trans person from Austin. Right, and she had just gone up on stage, and then he was like,
him.
"What's up?" She, dude. I work in tech, bro.
I know, but dude, it's a tranny, but they could be tranny from a she to a him.
Yeah, it was a male to female, right?
Oh, like a din plug, like a double din.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Like, so you see, when a man loves a woman,
so.
You see son, man. Imagine that talk when you have kids now. Like you see someone, you know.
Wait, it went from that to that.
You remember the kindergarten cop?
That's what it was. Okay, go ahead.
You remember kindergarten cop? Like girls have boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. But now it's like like girls have a penis, boys have a vagina. Like now it's backwards, right? And like
that's what it is now.
Yeah. Anyway, fucking he went up, and
he or she.
The comic was a dude that went up right before me, but before
they went up.
Before him was the trans comic, which is actually the homie, right? It's like
the hurry,
the furry.
Can't call him a furry. Hey, chill out.
And,
I got a niece. It's a furry.
And so he went up and was like, "Hey, what's your name? What did your name used to be? Was your name? Was your name? Was it?
Oh, the one after?
Yeah, it was like." And so he starts just immediately shitting on the previous comic.
He double clutched the tranny.
And then he was like, "Hey, everyone chill out." And he starts going, "I love trannies." And then everyone just fucking, and then he's like, "Hello, are you white?" And then they go, "I could pass as white." And he goes, "Cool, you're a white dude named Juan that does comedy, real original." And everybody, and it got, dude.
Was there a lot of people in the room?
Yeah, it was fucking packed. And then one table.
And nobody was laughing?
Dude, nobody was laughing. And then one table, one chick just yells super loud. It was like a table of like 4 older white women. And then one of them just goes, "You're so bad." And then the other one goes, "Get off stage." And he goes, "Leave it to the white bitches to get offended." And everybody was just, boo.
Oh, shit.
And his whole set, everybody was just fucking booing.
Yelling at him and shit.
And then like he couldn't even talk. Everybody was just booing and booing. And then he had like one quick redemption where he said, like, "I love trannies," and he's like, "I'm gay," or some shit. And then like they're like, "Yeah, you are," and everyone's just like shit talking. And that was like the funniest part of his set. And then he gets off and he's all, "Man, fuck y'all." He tries attacking him one last time, and everyone's booing. And then
how much time did he do?
It was just a 4-minute mic, right? But it was packed, right? And then they're like, "Give it up for your next comic, Justin Governable." And I'm like thinking in my head, how the fuck do you follow that? So I got up there and I was like, in my head, from my experience, right? I was like, address it. And I was like, "God damn, dude, you're my boy, but I want to kill myself for you, bro. That was bad, dude." Like, and all I did was shit on him for fucking 4 minutes.
The crowd was already against
and they were all,
him.
"Yeah." And then I got off stage and I walked up to him and I was like,
"My bad.
Sorry, dude, sorry." And he was like, "It's all good, dude." And then he like walked outside and like everyone was talking, like, and I was talking about it again. And he's like, "You know, I can hear you, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, we're like, dude, like, You gotta fucking chalk that shit up. Like that was bad, bro.
But
like
that's
if you don't
funny,
admit,
dude. It's
yeah,
funny
it was
when
as
someone
fuck.
when.
Yeah, yeah. I won't say his name.
Oh, is that the one that I ran into when I was at the Crick in the Cave too? They had nice tits.
Cool dude, man. Love him, but I'm not gonna say his name for the sake, because you know what, I bombed too, right?
Was his car involved in a?
Don't say his name. I'm not
Next
saying
to like some similar to mine.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, he does that quite a bit. I keep hearing.
Again, love the dude. We're homies.
No, and he's cool. The dude, he's a cool dude.
He bombed. We've all bombed. I've never seen one that bad, if I'm being honest, right? But like, imagine you watch that, and then they're like, "Give it up for your next comment," and people are literally, when he got off stage, that's the only time they cheered, and they're like, "All right, that's my time." He's all, "Fuck y'all!" When he walked off, everybody was like, "Yeah!"
Where
They're
was
like,
this?
Give it up. Where?
Oh yeah, where was this open mic?
At Laugh Out Loud.
Oh, at Laugh Out Loud.
Yeah, it was packed, bro. It was like a fucking stacked room. And so I got up there and I just had to like shit on him for 4 minutes. I felt bad. He's my boy. But like, if I like, there's no way I was going to get up there and be like, so I served in the Marines during Don't Ask, Don't Tell. However, the Marines made me gay.
I think I was out there that
like,
night and y'all talked about he came off and he was
like, fucking like,
he bombed.
And then there's like another comic that I know, and I also won't say his name. He's only been doing like a year. He did Kill Tony, and he bombed so bad that he fucking shaved his head. Right? And you know what's funny?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I even put it on video. I saw him and I was like, "Hey, bro, I saw you got on. Someone said you got on. How'd you do?" And he's like, "Oh, it was bad. It was bad." And I was talking to him and I was like, "It was that." But he was like, "It was really bad." And I saw him at LOL like a week later. But now he's just like, his head's all white because he shaved it and like doesn't typically shave it. And he had a full head of hair. And so he was like, "Yeah, no, it was bad. It was bad." And I go, "Is that why you shaved your head?" And he goes, Yup. And I was just laughing like, if you were just you had a Britney
Dude,
Spears
I shaved
moment.
my head when I robbed the jewelry store because I didn't want
Nice.
them to recognize
Yeah,
me.
that's what I'm saying. It's either he didn't want to be recognized or he just had a full-on Britney moment where he's just like, fucking.
Dude, a bad bomb will make you feel fucking terrible.
And again, I've done it.
But it's funny though to see. I mean, like I've seen people go up and like your boy, the one you're talking about, the one I know who you're talking about, and to bomb, and I bet you were laughing. Everyone was laughing their asses off watching him bomb.
all the comics.
Yeah,
were.
all the comics. The
were.
comics can.
That's
like,
terrible,
sit there-
bro. Sometimes, like, and we all know how it is, right? Like, you're up
Yeah.
there and you just you drop it, and then like this is a throwaway joke, so I don't even care if it's published or not. But like the Magic Johnson one, right? Like so stupid. Like, oh, isn't it crazy that Magic Johnson cured himself of HIV and everyone makes a big deal about it, but it's literally in his name and they still act surprised. Magic Johnson. Everyone, like I've done that joke. And like when I have the crowd, it works, and I didn't deliver it the way that I deliver, right? But like I like set it up a certain way, and like sometimes I've done that, and people always laugh. And then like one time I did it at the station, and like it just fell flat, and I had the crowd, bro. Like I was going, and I was like, all right. So I just randomly threw it in there,
just shut 'em down?
and I just shut everybody down, and I just heard like the fucking Rosales brothers in the back, and I just heard it like all the
Laughing.
comics were like, and that's when you're like, oh, motherfucker, like
Yeah, that's
that
when you know you
and I
fucked
was out
up.
of time, and I was like, I got the light, I was like, let me throw one more, and I had him the whole time except right there I bombed it. So I walked off stage, and then he's like, that joke deserves more credit. I'm like, fuck you, man. And everybody, it's just like, they love seeing it.
I'm
right?
only saying this because I'm preparing y'all for what's about to happen to me. Because I'm about to, after I come off of this, I'm going to start trying to hit a lot more mics and get ready to do this thing with Chris. So I'm going to have to get out there and just start putting some, make sure everything's the way I want it to be.
Hey, you have to fucking crawl before you can walk.
I know.
Like, you have to be able to walk before you can do anything else. Actually,
I know. I got
you have to like be able to just walk.
I got to learn how to push on the skateboard before I can ollie, and I got to learn how to ollie before I can kickflip, right?
Yeah.
So
you just gotta walk, dude.
Yeah,
you
I
just
just
gotta walk
yeah,
again.
I gotta,
man.
I gotta walk. I can do some sit down stand up, but I don't want to do sit down stand up.
No. Oh yeah, dude. I see
That
shit
is
all the time.
unless you go out there and really kill it. That's kind of an arrogant thing to.
I mean, I've seen like Rogan murdering, and then he gets a stool and he sits.
Yeah,
but
and
like
I've done
that's
it
the
too.
different-
I've done it too before I knew. Before I really did my research,
you know,
and
like
saw.
if you're like a headliner or whatever, you've been doing a minute, fucking go for it, dude. What's funny is like I'll see like dudes with like less time than I have, and it's at a mic, and they'll get the stool and they'll sit, and right then and there I'm like, yo, what are you? It's a fucking open mic. There's like 11 people in the fucking audience,
and it
man.
comes off as arrogant,
yeah,
right? Like,
it does.
you're just
like,
gonna
oh,
kill
I'm
it.
so good, I'm gonna fucking, and they're just like not doing well, right?
But you know what? I did that the second time on stage at
Sit down. We're doing sit down. It's not really comedy.
I got on there and I did it, and I didn't know what to do. I got all nervous and I just sat there and was like, and then someone told me later, and they were like, "Oh man, the way you pulled that off, you just sat there all comfortable, like you didn't give a fuck." And I didn't realize that that's what it looked like. It was that I'm so confident and arrogant, I can just sit here like I'm sitting. And I didn't know that was the science of it then. But that is part of it.
I love it, man. I love everything about comedy at this point.
Everything about it, I don't.
Minus the bombs, right?
I don't love everything about it.
I don't bomb like often, but they happen now. And what's funny is like now I get it when you all are like, it happens. Like the first time you bomb, you're like, end of the fucking world. And then the second time you're like, damn, I can't believe. And then one time I had 3 shows in a row, and I was like, what the fuck?
It seems like they come in.
Yeah, and I was like, runs. I had like 3 in a row, and I was like in my head, and then like I randomly did a 10-minute spot somewhere, and I did so well. Everybody after was like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, like I fucking needed that, right? And so I'm not saying you should be comfortable by any means with them, but I'm finally there. 4.5 years in, where like I did the Uncle Laser show, the first one of 4, I bombed, but I had to have the mental capacity to be like, it's good, brother, it happens, and you can't let it. So I just, I bombed the first one, and I did well on the next 3, and I was like, holy shit, okay, fucking. That was the first time that I like recovered immediately, right? Before I'd like go home for the night and like all weekend would be like fuck, or like all week, right? But this time I was like, you can't do that. You're about to go up.
It sucks when you go on a string of bombs, like when you're on just a bad run and you're like, what's going on?
Again, I'm only 4.5 years in, right? So like
that's when
only
they
happened
come.
once. It was 3 in a row.
But
like
that's when
Thursday,
they come
Friday,
though.
Saturday.
When you're pretty new at it and you're going like, what am I doing? If you don't tweak or adjust or know what's going on, because there's people that every show is bad, like we've seen. I don't want to say any names, but Cody does it. You'd see like. So people just go up in Hollywood. We do it all the time. Like every show, you'd see them do bad, and they'd be like, well, this and like, you've done this like every fucking time I've seen you. So what you're not doing. So you're just not getting it. You're not doing the formula.
Yeah.
But it's in their attitude too.
That I love it, man.
I love it. I love comedy, but I don't love everything about comedy. There's a lot of conniving, backhanded talk and favoritism and sabotaging and rumors and all that shit going on too. So there's all that I do not like about comedy. There's a lot of the people I can't be around, dude. The people that are delusional. There's a lot of delusional people, and I like real motherfuckers. So to be around a bunch of delusional people, that's another thing I don't like about comedy.
Like, one day, bro, when I'm fucking booking Times Square, and I'm not saying the shit on people's dreams, if that's your dream, cool.
No.
But you also got to be real with yourself. Like, in zero capacity, am I like, oh, bro, I'm gonna fucking sell out the nation? Like, that's not what I'm just building a brand. I love it. I genuinely love comedy.
Well,
right?
that's not even the worst of it. That's a great dream to say one day I'm gonna sell out. But when they're not even close to even selling out,
motherfucker, you haven't even packed LOL. When you
haven't even packed out fucking Joe Blow's fucking cafe, and because you don't know what you're doing yet, and so you're like, come on, dude, like get real with it, and you've been doing it for 10 years, and you're still.
Dude, the most money I've ever made was from a motivational speech. Wasn't even from comedy, right?
Yeah, but that's still good. I mean, but it came as all part of the package.
It was also a lot easier to make people laugh when you do like a corporate gig, like a motivational speech.
Yeah, to be quirky.
It was right after I came off of
to be humorous,
Afraid, right?
You didn't have to even be funny. You just had to be humorous.
So like with the Naked and Afraid thing, I'll be like, I was on 2 seasons of Naked and Afraid. In case you haven't seen the episode, I like zip down my zipper, and everyone's like, like it's so stupid and cheesy. And I actually start with my Naked and Afraid stuff on a longer set because I'm like, look, guys, I belong here. Look, set up, punch. Look at me. I was also on TV. I'm credible. And then I hit them with one dark joke. And when they start laughing, I throw away the Naked and Afraid. I actually don't like doing that because it's not me. But I do it just to kind of win them initially. But it's still like I pretend to zip down my zipper. And I was doing it for USAA. And I was like, I was on 2 seasons of Naked and Afraid. In case you haven't seen the episodes. And I pause and I just start pretending to undo a button. No, you're like, shit, it's so much easier actually to get laughs in general than you think.
You should get a big rubber fake dick.
Actually, I've got one.
And fill it with mayonnaise. And then just like a whole jar of mayonnaise, like one that you could put a whole and just fucking, and like it keeps coming, and then put it like on a sandwich, and then fucking make and eat it.
Yeah. I should do that for sure, dude, for sure.
Open a sandwich restaurant with nothing but that.
Hey, how much? Did you learn that in prison, dude?
Yeah, no, dude.
Dick
but
sandwich,
it was a
bro.
great joke we used to pull in prison, dude, sometimes. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. Whether you get, it was all in the whole realm of you doing comedy and everything that it fit, and so even though it wasn't booked as a comedy gig, you still went out there.
There were way easier laughs, man.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I was
sure.
very like calculated in what I said and how I said it. Like I like wrote. It was like comedy prepared me for what I did. All I did, like I had to write a speech, right, about like my experiences from growing up, the military, Naked and Afraid, and how I use it in corporate America, right?
So, are you done with Naked and Afraid, or you think? You're
I
gonna
don't
do
know,
another
man.
one?
Like they call me.
They
right?
do. They're coming up with new ideas, right? They're always trying to place you with other people in
Yeah,
whatever,
like again, if they call
teams
me,
and whatever.
they do. But what's interesting is it's starting to air now. Like they'll air. Like I was on that season Castaways, and it just started airing last week in Brazil. And the reason I know is one day I just started getting a ton of followers, and I was like, where are they coming
from Brazil?
And then I'd click on them, and they'd all be like
Portuguese.
They were all in Portuguese. So I was like, oh fuck. And then like one chick, they call it something else, obviously, right?
Encuerado, but tengo sustado.
Yeah, something like that. I think that's exactly the. It's something else in Brazil, but
They call it ay ay ay, no me toques en el culo.
yeah, that's Spanish. That's all Spanish. By the way. But yeah, man, it was cool. Like one chick is on like the cover, right, of their XL, like their 40-day. And she like started following me, right? And she got like a handful of followers, and she like sent me a very, very proper like message in English, like "Good afternoon. I would love to," and it was just so professional. And in my head, I'm like, "You use translate for sure,
Oh
right?"
no,
Like,
she's a Nigerian fucking scammer.
yeah.
Is what you know. But that event, like maybe you know, like say you contacted her and y'all just we got a rapport between y'all.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
And
right
then
now.
all of a sudden you say, hey, let's hit them and let's be a team.
Yeah, that's actually what she did.
Yeah.
She was like, I would love to test myself more than 21 days with you if they ever do like an international version. And I was like,
And you're like,
that
bitch,
would
I'll
actually
lock you in my fucking house for 30 days.
that would
and see if
actually
you make
be
it out.
that'd actually be fucking cool because like there's a language barrier, right? And I speak Spanish and it's similar.
Oh, yeah,
And so
yeah.
she sent me like I sent her a voice memo like in Spanish. And I was telling her like in Spanish, like, hey, if I speak very slow, I think you can understand me. It's similar. And I said it like that. And then she came back in Portuguese and I could kind of understand her. And she's like, yes, it is similar, this and that, right? And then I sent her another message and it was like, nah, I'm just kidding,
And
no.
you would,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, that's exactly, yeah, dude. But fucking, nah, it was cool, man. Like, so, I mean, if they call me back, you know, I'll jump on
you'd be
something.
down to do it again.
Dude, like, I won't give all the stipulations because they decided to pull back, but like, Mr. Beast, their team had like hit me up.
Okay, first, who's Mr. Beast? Explain who
Mr.
Mr. Beast.
Beast is the fucking
The most viewed person on YouTube, right?
YouTuber on the planet. And he hit me up. His team hit me up a few weeks ago and was like, hey, we want you to go on this challenge. We can't say too much, but it's going to be for a lot of money that you're going to compete for. Are you down? I'm like, yeah. They're like, you have to quit your job like pretty much tomorrow.
Oh,
And
they
I'm
tell
like,
you have to
I
quit
swear
your
to God.
job?
It was like multiple interviews. And then I'll leave the process after this out. But like last second, they were like, hey, we're sorry. We're going to keep you in our database, but we're going to move in another direction. But we'll keep you in our database. We love your
Good thing you didn't
vibe,
quit your
your
job,
energy.
huh?
Yeah, I was this close, dude.
Were you really?
Yeah. But, I mean...
And when they say like you're gonna win, you're probably gonna win at least $1 million if you
I
want.
have no idea.
Huh?
They wouldn't tell me anything, but I thought that was pretty cool. The fact that I'm just some dude from like Laredo, Texas, that did like some reality TV, and they were gonna throw me on, but they decided to go in another direction. But it's in my head. I'm like, oh shit, hold on, something can happen, right?
You're still on the list, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that's pretty badass, dude. I was pretty excited, but it didn't work out. It is what it is. But then what's funny is I was like, man, I don't want to. My whole thing that I kept telling them was like, well, listen, like I've got a decent job with decent pay. Like, what happens if I don't make it, or do I not get anything? They're like, we can't tell you anything. We can't tell you anything. That's all they kept saying. They're like, nothing can be
so
discussed.
it could just be you and one other person.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm saying, yeah, like it could just be you against one other person, and the
idea.
winner gets 10 million and the loser gets $1 million. Or
Yeah,
something. So
like
you could still be
whatever-
set up where you, even if you quit your
They
job
wouldn't
and
tell
lost.
me anything, right? And
What you
But
get there
then-
is you get your gun and you go, look,
Yeah, dude.
Mr. fucking Beast, I need to fucking. I'm Mr. Beast fucking killer.
I think actually they looked up my stuff online and they're like, "Oh, you talked to that guy Edward Hernandez, dude." Never
Hey,
mind,
my
bro.
bad. Shout out to Mr. Beast, sponsor
Yeah.
my podcast. Look up What's Up Sucka podcast and Mr. Beast together.
Yeah.
Again, I'll take the challenge, Mr. Beast, and I'll do it.
Right, I get a cease and desist tomorrow.
If
Like,
it's
Mr.
a-
Governale, do not ever say his name again. You fucking idiot. Like, all right. But like, yeah, you know, that didn't work out. But then in my head, my whole thing was like, I can't quit my job. This, and then like 2 weeks later, they just fire 1,000 people on the spot with 1 hour notice. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn. And it just makes you think like, again, I mean, you realize a lot. You like, I'm fortunate to have my job. I'm not
Maybe
gonna sit
Mr.
here.
Beast is the CEO of your job.
Yeah.
And he's just going in there
Just
and
keeping me
firing
in check.
everyone, dude.
Yeah, dude, if you do the numbers on the math, like, dude, it's 7.5 years in this position like this, right?
Did you?
If I'm being
You've
real,
been doing this 7.5 years?
I've been doing it for, hold on,
3.
no, it's about 6.5 years.
You've been at this job?
Not this one, but like in my line of work, doing
Oh.
like a paid advertising. But it's a trip, dude. We put this thing on a pedestal. We like store in your 401k, and I had an epiphany at my last employer. There's a chick that walked into the break room, and she's like, not to be mean. And
Oh,
again-
here we go. He's about to be mean.
Yeah, I'm about to be mean.
Not to be mean, but she looked like a monster.
No, I walked into the break room and they had donuts.
He was already going like this.
And I feel like companies will do that as an incentive. Like,
To make you
look, we
fat?
buy you donuts. But in my head, I'm like, you don't actually care about us because you're giving us donuts to keep us like
Diabetic.
just like veggie, like you're still a vegetable, and you just walk up and you grab your donut and you sit down and you just stare at the screen and you eat your donut and you're sitting all day, you're getting fat. So not to be mean, but she walks into the break room and she's like, you know, a little obese.
She's a
And-
little old beast, so she's
Yeah.
Mr. Beast.
She's Mr.
Kid.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I wonder why you didn't get selected.
Mr. Beast's
But,
mom. She's a little old beast.
he said it, not me. Yeah, dude.
So little old beast lady said what?
She was like, yeah, she's big. She's big, right? And she just grabbed the
Chingonota?
donut.
Is she
but
one of the
walked-
chingonotas?
She walked like this, dude. She walked like this. Oh shit. She opened up the donuts.
She walked
And
like
she
what?
just-
Like a T-Rex?
She walked like a T-Rex, and she was just like, "Hey, Justin, how are you?" And I was just staring, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, I think she walks like that because she's been behind her desk. So she was older too. So I'm like, "Hey, how long have you been doing this?" She was in finance. And she's like,
6.5 years.
No, she was like, almost 30 years, 27 years. And I was like, oh my God. Like in my head, I go, do you like it? And she's like, oh, I love it. Just something about calculations and this and that. I'm like, oh, cool. And so I like walk off and then I go to my desk and I open my computer and then I'm like, okay, because in the US, you only get like 2 weeks off a year. I'm fortunate to have unlimited PTO where I work now. So I take like 6 to 8 weeks off a year. But like most jobs give you 2 weeks off. So I'm like 50, not 52, right? 40 hours a week times 50 weeks and you get a number, right? You get hours. And then I got those hours and I multiplied it by 30 years. And if you do the math, it's, I don't remember exactly, but it's around 7 years, like 7.5 years straight without sleep or anything. And the reason why she walks like this is she's spent almost 7 years, 7.5 years in this position, right? So when she walks like this and now she's obese. And I'm like, do you like this? And she's like, oh, I love it. And I just had this like epiphany right there. Just like
that could have been the challenge.
that could have been the challenge. Dude. Can you we'll pay you $1 million. You just have to work a corporate job for the next 30 years. Can you survive? And it's like, no. And so it's a trip. So that was like my first time that I'm like, I need to get out of here. And I ended up getting another corporate job. It's a pretty
Oh, that was at your last job.
my last employer, which was fun as fuck. It was honestly a fun job because I could say all sorts of crazy shit on calls, right? And everybody was cool. Like I would just open the screen. I'll be like there'd be like 3 or 4 people on the call before everyone hopped on. I'll be like, "What's up, pussies?" or like, "What's up, bitches?" And then everyone would start laughing, and then boom, somebody of higher importance would get on there in the company, right?
HR.
Yeah. But dude, now it's like it's at such a proper job. I've got like bits on it and stuff. But like, yeah, it just makes you realize like I don't want to fucking do this forever.
But you don't have a throwaway job though. They pay you enough money
pay me pretty
to
good
not
money.
just throw it away. It's
I
not like
know, I know. So I
like
have to
most
fucking
comedians and stuff.
Yeah,
dude,
most comics are like, so I live with my parents,
and
like,
then the bartenders or waiters.
so I'm back. So yeah, I'm a broke comic.
Yeah, and they can throw that
I'm
job
back on
away.
Tinder. It's like, oh wow.
Yeah,
fucking
they can
super
just quit.
interesting. Yeah.
They can quit at any time. Most people or call centers and shit like that. You know, just and anything you can
it's
throw away
pretty, I mean, I
jobs.
got fucking benefits, all that shit. So like, it's good, and I'm fortunate, especially when they didn't fire me. It made me kind of realize like, fuck, I should probably step it the fuck up, and I am. But on the same note, even my boss after was like, hey, so what are your goals? Like, he asked me like a week before, what are your goals? Like, what
the
do you
same
want
guy
within?
that fired everyone.
What's that?
The same guy that fired everyone.
No.
Or just your
Like
direct- your
it
media
was
boss?
it was at a way higher level than him that they fired people, but or that they decided to make that decision. But where my brain went when he like had this interview or this one-on-one call with me, he's like, hey, what's up, man? Like, so what are your goals here, like within the company? And I was like, if I'm being 100, do you want me to be transparent? He's like, full transparency. I was like,
tranny. He wanted you to be a tranny.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I talked about it on stage, and then everybody booed me off, dude.
Then I went to supported you.
But
Yay.
yeah, I just
That's
was
why they
like,
kept you, 'cause you're
I don't want to
being
do
transparent.
this in the next, like, I don't want to be in corporate America in the next 3 years, even. Like,
Ooh.
if I can make it out of here in
Wow, dude, why wouldn't they chop you
I'm doing
then?
it. Well, he was just like, fair. We'll see how you think in 1 year. And then like a week later, they fired 1,000 people, and I was like, holy shit, man, I should probably rethink because
What you tell him?
just in general, like, I'm pretty transparent, like all the time, you know, like.
But really, just what you tell you might. I mean, but
Yeah, I should probably have
don't
not
be a
said that.
tranny all the time, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
maybe it's time to
don't
be
be
a tranny.
transparent.
Yeah,
entire-
trans. Don't
yeah.
be trans all the time like that. Dude.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's not good to be trans like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, man. But so yeah, that's what I've been up to. I've been still doing the comedy, still training jiu-jitsu. Yeah, man, just working on getting myself out. I do all these like side projects.
What happened to the shout out to Sheath Underwear?
Oh, dude, I'm working with them.
Are you
consistently,
take
yeah.
some more trips and all that?
Yeah, I did that special or not special. It was like I got to headline that show, and they paid.
Oh, the one I was supposed to be on, but I broke my ankle.
Yeah, it was called Half Naked and Mostly Afraid.
Yeah.
Kabaz was on there. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
dope. It was
Are you gonna do another one?
I would like to. He wants to. Right now, realistically, I'm helping them with marketing. I'm taking all my experience, and I'm helping them build and grow, right? And we've discussed compensation and all that, but I'm genuinely doing it because I want to see the grand bro or the brand. I said it backwards. The
dyslexia is kicking
yeah
in, dude.
the
grand bro.
yeah the grand bro. I want to see the brand grow,
grand bro.
because there's so much
This
potential
big
there.
black dude's gonna walk in. The grand bro's here, dude.
You know, and then after it grows, then we can do cooler shit collectively, right? And
Well, if you can make some money too, then you can also.
they've literally always been so like
Generous?
No, they've just been really good to me, man. Like I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go on this trip. You know, maybe I could plug Sheath Underwear on, and they're like, yeah, and they just threw me some cash, threw me some product, and they're like, make content. And I did, and then they're like, dude, I love this. Do more, and it's slowly been building. And then I did that Half Naked, Mostly Afraid show where it's like you do a good joke, you take off a piece of clothing. Not everybody decided to take off their clothing, so it was like I would get replacements, and so I would either get like hot, like models that'll get in their underwear and they showcase the Sheath Underwear, which is distracting on stage, or it would be like a female comic that was she's attractive and she's like, I'm not getting in my fucking underwear, but the crowd doesn't know that. So the second she said a good joke, she's like, oh, I didn't agree to this bullshit. And then I brought up, Regis, who's like this tall, and he like walks up and he's like, sorry guys, and everyone's like, oh, he takes his shirt off. He had pasties and shit. Everyone's like, so it was fun, man. And then he was in Sheath.
And it was packed, right?
It was a packed show, right? It was sold out. And it was dope. That was like I've headlined.
And you were worried it wasn't going to sell out and everything,
Yeah.
right? You started stressing.
They had to
didn't
be
you?
like, hey, no more people are coming in, right?
They turned people away?
They start turning people away, right?
Perfect.
So it was dope, man. Like, I've never done something like that. I've headlined probably, I think, 5 times at this point. And if I'm being real.
And I was supposed to headline it.
Oh, yeah, you were. Man, it worked out. It worked out because I'd never believed in my headliner set. I would, like, the first time, they were like, you're doing 30. And I was, like, stretching. I did 30. That was the first time. The second time, it was, like, 30, but tighter and new stuff. And I was like, and then, I had never done, like, a solid setup with a solid callback at the end, right? And we'd, like, talked about that. So it was a perfect opportunity, like, with my audience to do, like, a 30-minute set, good setup in the beginning, good closer, and like that was my first good headliner set.
And you
where I
never
was,
hosted it. Like you didn't host it. Did you come out first and say anything, or just
I just came out and I was like, "Hey guys."
Oh, so you did?
Yeah, I was just like conceptually, this is how the show's gonna run, and then I did the quick little like, "Hey, no heckling," like that bullshit.
And then you got out there and someone else hosted.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
and then I had Tori go up, right? Tori Poole, she like went up, hosted it, and then it was fucking fun, man.
But there was
like,
about what 7 comedians, right? 8 comedians.
yeah, there's 7 comics.
And then you went last.
Yeah, Davey was on there, Josh was on there, Mariani was on there.
When was Rosales? Were they? One of them was.
Yeah, George. It was fun, man.
Wasn't Daniel
Velasquez
was on it?
and Carly Anderson, right? And then Dave Jackson. But like it was fun.
Oh,
as
I thought
fuck.
that girl was on it too.
Christina Mariani.
Yeah, Mariani.
Yeah, she's fucking funny, dude.
Yeah.
But it was dope because every time that I would headline, I would get like in my own head. And I think I followed Josh too, right? And before I would be like, oh shit, they have more experience than me. I'm sorry. I would like tell the comic, sorry, man, it's part. And then they'd be like, every single time they're like, dude, fucking who cares?
And,
right?
I used to do that too after shows. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
and
man, I
so
didn't do good.
so that was the first time that I did like a good show, and it was with Sheath Underwear, and then I sent him the video, and he's like, "Fucking love this concept, let's do it again." And I'm like, "Cool," but before we do so, I'm gonna take my expertise in marketing, right? And I'm like helping them right now with their Father's Day campaign, right?
When's Father's Day?
Sometime next month. But like, you know, I would be like, "What are you guys doing for Father's Day?" And they're like, "Oh, X amount of sell." And I was like, "So what's the strategy?" He's like, "I don't know. We're just thinking about doing this product this much off." I'm like, "No, hold on." So I've got like a whole like strategy to fucking maximizing your profit, right?
For them?
For anybody, but for them specifically
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, I'm working with them. So it's kind of cool, right? Like I talked to the dude, he texted me this morning, right? Or I'll see like an idea with marketing and I'll text it to their CEO and then he'll hit me up, "Fucking this is great. Thank you, man." Like
So they're gonna keep messing with you.
we're building a relationship, and I really believe in the future that we're gonna be doing some more stuff with them.
You know, I could set up one of those Naked and Afraid shows in Uvalde.
In Uvalde,
I don't know if.
do they like comedy down there, dude?
Oh yeah, dude, they're starving for everything down there, dude. And after the shooting happened at the school and stuff,
That's fucking gnarly,
everyone's
dude.
looking to get out and have a good time. And I have a buddy that's got a venue over there. He's got a food truck. It's a Mexican and Chinese food. It's called Taco Chino. And
Cochino, that's funny.
yeah, for real, dude. And he fucking sells out. I guess he's a tattoo artist, badass tattoo artist. Shout out to Tyshawn. And he's got a venue that he said it seats about 500. And he wants me to go down there. He came to visit me when I was in the rehab with my broken ankle. And he was telling me. So
That'd be dope.
that would be dope.
I need more, bro. I need more fucking shows.
I mean, if y'all want to take a trip to Uvalde and do it, I could set it up. And we could do it a regular show, or we could do it a Naked and Afraid show. You know?
Half naked, mostly afraid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if we do it the half naked, yeah. Sorry, shout out to Half Naked and Mostly Afraid, not in Quiz, and the other one. But I'm saying if you wanted Sheet to be part of it, then I guess they would throw in and do whatever, maybe.
Yeah.
pay
It's
for-
gotta work for them too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
in terms of.
But
the
Uvalde
content
could
show.
be a good spot to do one though. We good? Yeah, Uvalde could be a good spot to do one.
Dude, isn't that? Look at these girls killing it on skateboards, dude.
Oh, I know, dude. That's
You can't
Olympics.
even-
That's Olympic tryouts.
You can't even walk right now, dude.
Hey, dude, I know. Dude, you can't even get on the skateboard and do that, and nothing's wrong with your ankles. So
Yeah, I mean, I could get on a skateboard at least, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring my skateboard in here,
You get on there, you're like, hold on, I'll show you.
dude. I felt like it. I went to the grocery store today, and the whole time I was like, man, if I brought my skateboard, I could be rolling around right now, and that.
It's like my grandfather one time. I saw this like hot, chick in her 20s, and I was like in my early 20s, and my grandfather was like, oh. And he looks at her, and she walks by, and he looks at me and says, "How would I know what to do with her?" And then I look at him, and I'm thinking in my head like, wow, does that actually happen one day, Grandpa? I go,
No, that's just a phrase.
So he goes, "I wouldn't know what to do with her," and I was like, "Really? That happens?" But we were starting to connect because I'm like, I already went to the Marines and all that shit, and he was in the Navy in World War II. So I was like, "Does that really happen?" And he was like, "Oh, I would know what to do with her. I just want to deal with that shit. I don't want to deal with a headache." And I never understood what he meant. But now at 38, I'm like, I get it.
Dude, that's funny because
I get it, dude,
I
like-
talked to this dude. I was at this dispensary yesterday, and my friend, the dude who owns it, my friend who owns the dispensary, his uncle showed up, and his uncle is 81, and he was in there buying weed, taking shots.
yeah, dude.
And I was like, dude, are you single? And he was like, yeah, I'm single. I go, so do you go out, dude, to bars and shit and pick up chicks? Oh, yeah, I'll meet chicks. I said, but where do you? Well, he goes, well, I mean, not at bars too much, but I go, where do you meet girls at 81 years old, bro? He said, the grocery store. He said, I'll go to the grocery store and I'll meet girls. He said, I saw this girl walking in and we said hi to each other. And after walking through a few aisles, I saw her again, said hi to her again. And, we started talking and I was like,
so
okay, I said, what age group do you shoot for?
60s.
18 to, that's what he was,
Jesus.
to about 50. That's what he said. I was like, all right, dude, I don't know. I don't know what.
When my grandfather was in his 70s, he was talking up one of his girlfriends, and I was like in my, 20s. And then he was like, oh, she's fun. She's she's like the light of the party kind of stuff. And then he goes, she's young. And he goes, well, not to you. She's in her 50s. But for me, that's young, grandson. And I remember thinking like, damn, that's fucking gangster, dude. Like, he's dating women 20 years younger. And another thing, he said two other things that I'll remember forever. He said one time, you see, grandson, when you get to be my age, you learn to become like a submarine. And I go, a submarine? And he goes, ah. And he goes, your dick don't work. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, I was in like my 20s.
Because back then they didn't have Viagra and Cialis either.
So it was funny because he said that. And then I told my dad. And in my dad's eyes, this man was just like the perfect father, right? And so my dad's like, dude, my dad doesn't talk like that. I was like, he fucking said that, dude. And he's like, no. Not my dad, man. He doesn't talk like that. And I was like, okay, motherfucker. He told me. And then also, like, when he was on his deathbed, like, last conversation I ever had with him was he was like, whatever you do, grandson. His last words to me were, whatever you do, grandson, wait as long as you can to get married. And then he said, they're all crazy. And he said,
doing that part at least.
And then he said, never tell him everything. Tell him enough, but never everything. It'll always bite you in the end. And he goes, I love you, grandson. Hopefully next time I see you, I won't be stiffing on my back. And like a week later, I went to his funeral in Ohio. And like he was on his back. And I couldn't help it. I like walked up and then I smirked.
He was stiff.
Yeah, and I poked him. And he was stiff, right? And I just kind of smirked. It was like his dark humor. His body's in front of me. And I just kind of was like, man, that's fucking gangster. But what's crazy is he said those last words to me, and I'm like, how does a man in his mid-80s be like, whatever you do, wait as long as you can to get... He could have told me anything, bro. He could have given me any advice, and his advice that he gave me was, wait as long as you can to get married, and he dies days later, and you're like, how does a man die? Like, there has to be something there. So, like, I'm 38, and people are always like, hey, man, like, when are you going to settle down? Like, maybe he fucked me up, maybe he traumatized me, but it's just like...
No, I get it. I can totally understand what he's saying. I hear it. Here at 55, soon to be 56.
Yeah. Were you married before?
I was married for 10 years. I got married in 89 and divorced in 99. I was engaged once before that. Once after that. That was recently, and never been married again. Or
I was engaged.
I don't know what to,
I was engaged at 19, bro.
That sounds like a piece of machinery. It's engaged.
Yeah.
Like you could just hear it in
Engraved.
Fuck.
I was engaged at 19,
Stop
bro.
it.
I was in the Marine Corps, and I proposed to this chick.
Oh, that's right. Because that's what you do when you're young. And
You're just like, I'm alone. Everyone hates me.
That's
all
what
my
people
superiors
do when they go
hate
to
me.
prison, too.
I'm about to go to war. Yeah, so like I asked this chick to marry me, and then I went to Iraq, and times were different, man. I went in 2005, and we weren't allowed to like use the phone, right? We had a satellite phone. You'd barely get to use it. And if you did use it, it had limited battery, so we'd be like 10-minute limit, and it was this giant.
But
brick.
when did you get to use it? Like sitting in a tent somewhere?
No. Like whenever we were off. But dude, the satellite phone, we had one phone for like our whole company of like 300-400 Marines, right? So it was like, well, shit, it would get like passed around, and it would die, so they would have to charge it. It was this giant brick, and you'd barely get to use it, or if you got blown up. Right, you got to use it. So like you got blown up. It was like super normal to get hit. And dude, I got blown up 3 times. And so the first time, I didn't necessarily get wounded. Technically on paper I did. I blew out my eardrum, and they called my mom and they were like, "Hey, your son's been wounded. He's in Iraq, obviously, right? He's been wounded. That's all we know." And my mom was like, "Well, to what extent?" And they're like, "We don't know. That's all the information we have. We're sorry." And they fucking leave her hanging. So 2 weeks later, my mom sends a Red Cross message to like my battalion, because I'm not gonna. What am I gonna do? Call my mom, be like, "Hey, mom, I just got fucking blown up." Like, you don't need to tell them that. So I don't use the phone, and then they're like, hey, Governale, go fucking, here's a satellite phone, call your mother, tell her you're fine. Marine Corps fucked up, and they told her that you're wounded. Just tell her you're good. So I call her. She's like, oh, do you have all your limbs? The phone says Hawaii. Are you in a hospital in Hawaii? I'm like, no, I'm fine. I just blew out my left eardrum. Whatever, big deal. So the second time I got hit, they fucking called my dad for some weird reason, because this time was a mistake. I didn't get wounded, but everyone in the truck got hurt. There was 4 of us, and three of the dudes got pretty fucked up. 2 got sent home for like life-threatening stuff, but they fixed them, and everyone's alive today, right? But they just were like, everyone in the truck's been wounded, so they called my dad this time, and they're like, your son's been wounded, fucking, so him and my mom, they've been divorced since I was 4. They don't really like each other, but he like calls her, and she's like, oh, Justin's been hurt and all this shit. So they sent another message to like, they would always go to my recruiter, and somehow, some way, they're like, hey, Staff Sergeant wants to see you on the 7th floor. I lived at the Haditha Dam, right? And so there's no elevators. I climb like all these stairs, and I get there, and they're like, hey, call your mom. Like they made a mistake. And I'm like, okay, cool. I did get flown to the hospital for all that shit and get checked out, but I was fine. So I call my girlfriend at the time. I call my mom. She's crying. My dad's like, I'm sorry for everything I've ever done. And I'm like, what? No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. And then, I call my girlfriend at the time, and I'm like, oh, I don't think she's going to answer. It's like fucking 3 a.m, right? In San Antonio, Texas. She was in college. And I'm like, I don't think she's going to answer. She's probably asleep. And it's like 3, 4 a.m, and the phone rings. And she's like, no, she's not. Like, the phone answers, and some dude's like, hello? And I was like, who the fucking click? And they just hang up immediately.
Your fiance?
It was my fiance. And so some dude answers her phone at like 3 a.m. in the U.S., and it's like broad daylight.
So she broke up with you and you didn't know?
No. She didn't break. Yeah. No, that's not how it works, dude. They call it in prison too. They got Jody, right?
Yeah, sure. Jody.
So it's the other dude. And so I was like, I fucking call back, and it's hey, this is Tina. Hey, no, I'm just kidding. No, they like it goes straight to her voicemail, and it just kept going to her voicemail. And I'm a pretty like I don't talk like shitty to women, right? I'll never put my hand on.
You don't talk diddy to women?
I don't talk diddly.
And
so it was just the only time in my life. There's actually one other time. It doesn't matter. Like I fucking lost my shit. I was just like, oh, like hey, you fucking, and then I don't got to repeat what I said, because then I got to put out a P Diddy message and be like, I'm disgusted, right? I'm disgusted. I got caught, but yeah, man, like. I just called. I left all these voicemails, and then I got back. I called her like 3 weeks later, and she's like, I'm sorry. She gave me some long, just bullshit excuse. And I was like, hey, dude, like, I don't have time to listen to this excuse. Like, I only have a few more minutes. Just fucking tell me you love me, please. Like, my friends are getting blown up, and people are dying and shit. And so I got back, and she's like, let's go right now. Let's go to Vegas. And I'm like,
you didn't ask who the dude was?
Yeah, I was like, who answered the phone then? And she's like, oh my God, you don't trust me. And I was like, I mean, a dude answer your phone and fucking, and that's, we ended up dating for another, like fucking multiple years, bro. Like we didn't get married, but like.
But you never found out what that was?
Never found out. I think, fuck, dude, one time she beat the ever-living fuck out of me, dude.
Oh, y'all were in love.
Yeah, dude. No, dude, it was bizarre. She was like, I want to see how Marines hang out, right? And she's like, I want to hang out with y'all like Marines. Like, and I'm like, no, you don't want to do that. Marines are crazy. She's like, I want to be like one of the boys for the weekend, right? So I was like, all right. So we go down to Tijuana, Mexico, right? And we're like, let's go to a titty bar. And we're like, hey, it's going to be fun. And so they ask us for our IDs to get in. And then she's like, oh, I didn't bring my ID. And I'm like, you didn't bring your fucking ID to Tijuana, Mexico? Because at the time, you didn't need a passport to cross.
Yeah,
you just need your ID. So I was like, you didn't bring your fucking ID to Mexico? She's like, no, why would I bring it? I don't want to lose it. I'm like, you didn't bring your fucking ID
hey, bro, that's your
to
future
another country.
fiance, dude.
Yeah.
Don't talk like that.
So I start fighting with her, and she's like, you just want to see tits. And I was like, well, yeah, right? Like, but she's like, you just want to see tits. So we had just gotten like a hot dog.
Tits became the issue.
Yeah, that's what she was arguing with me. And I was like, no, how are we going to get back to the U.S.? And so she just got like this hot dog where they just put like mustard and ketchup on it. And the reason I remember that is because she threw it at me, and I moved my head, And I remember it like went past me, and I remember it landed on the street, and it slid, and all like the mustard and the ketchup, it was like,
It made the LGBTQ.
right? Yeah. and I was like,
running.
and it was a hot dog, right?
Yeah.
But then the hot dog flew away, and it was like, does it have a hot dog? Does it not?
Was
I
it
don't know.
really a hot dog?
Yeah, was it
And
really
then the
a
hot dog split
Yeah, and
into
it
a
split
vagina?
open, dude. It was fucking nuts, dude.
No nuts.
Yeah, no nuts. But yeah, it was crazy, dude. But she fucking ran
That
off.
Hot dog was being transparent.
Yeah,
It was being
yeah, and I ran off.
She hit you with. She missed you with the hot
She
dog.
missed me, and then I was like, "Fuck her, I don't care." And I was like, "She's bluffing," and she just stormed off and just disappeared in Tijuana, Mexico. And I was like, so I started looking for her, and I can't find her. And I started.
Is it nighttime or daytime?
Nighttime, bro. And I'm like, Tina.
She does not
Tina.
know.
No, she doesn't. And so I can't find her, and then I go back and I find a cop, like a Mexican cop, and I was like, "Hey, did you see some?" Like, and what's crazy is it was by the area where there's like tons of prostitutes, right? So I was like scared. And I was like, "Hey, did you see like a hot half Asian chick running around here? This and that, black hair." And he goes in Spanish. He's like, "I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. No, I didn't. But if she went that way, you're fine. If she went that way, you're never gonna see her again." And I was like, "Oh!" So I start chanting, and I'm like running around chasing her, and I fucking find her, and she's like just pissed, bro.
Where was she though?
What's that?
Which way had she gone?
I don't remember. I just remember I kept running and I found her, right? And so I was like, "Oh God, I found you." And first thing she does, also mind you, I didn't know that this wasn't normal. This is I lost my virginity to this chick, dated her for 7 years. She would always like you ever watch those domestic violence posters, and it's like speak up against domestic violence, and they saw all these battered women, and then there's that one pussy in the very back with a black eye, and he's just like looking down. That was me, bro, right? Because I saw that poster one time, and I remember thinking to myself, in the Marine Corps, they have them all over base because Marines just beat their wives all the time. But I was like, yeah, all casual. And I remember looking at the poster.
Everyone stereotype Marines.
Yeah.
It was
Like, honor, courage, commitment. You know, fucking. Yeah, so I would see that poster in the gym, and I remember kind of smiling, looking at the dude, and it's like he's all in the back in the shadows with a black eye, and I just remember smiling, and I was like, that's me, dog. That's me. She would beat the fuck out of me all the time. But I didn't know. So the next time I had a girlfriend, she got mad at me and she was like, "Ugh," and she went like this to me. And I fucking I flinched, dude. And she was like, "What? Do you think I'm actually going to hit you?" I was like, "Yeah, that's like what girlfriends do." And she's like, "Justin, I would never hit you. That's like not healthy. That's not normal." I'm like, "What?" Because I would argue with this chick and 0 seconds would pass, bro. Like we'd argue. And like not a fucking I wouldn't even be able to explain myself. I would say something and just whack fucking or closed fist just punch me, dude. And so
were y'all the same age?
Yeah.
She was just violent, huh?
Well, we started dating when she was 16 and I was 27.
Well, she was a kid.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Like, no, we're the same age.
Chill out, Jared.
Yeah.
We were working at Subway.
And so, dude, what's so funny about I'm about to say the most racist shit I ever said in my life. And
Sponsored by racism.
Yeah.
What's Up Sucka
I'm gonna get
podcast.
canceled for sure at this point.
So
But,
it's my podcast, so go ahead, dude.
Dude, so we're dude, she loses her fucking mind on
You
me.
need that?
Dude, she loses her mind and she's like closed fist punching me and clawing my face.
In the car or y'all are out?
Before we got to the car, she's just beating the fuck out of me. And all my Marine friends are like, "Dude, I went to Iraq with these guys." And they're just like, "Let's go, dude. Like, let's go." Because she can't get in anyway. And she's just ruined the night, dude. She's beating the fuck out of me. All my guy friends are laughing.
I'm going to ask this, and this is going to be misogynistic, but was she that hot?
She was fucking hot.
That's
She was
why.
hot.
That's why that
She
was
was
all
hot.
going
Yeah,
on.
yeah, dude.
Because she had been old beast.
It's kind of like
wouldn't work.
it's kind of like trans people, right? Like,
The hot ones get
dude.
beat.
So
Don't get beat?
There was this girl that I was seeing, and I hung
trans
out with.
chick?
No. But I
What does
hung
this
out
have
with.
to do with trans?
No, do you know who Blair White is? Blair White is trans. Honestly, fucking hot.
Is that
And
the one that you had the picture with?
Yes, and we hung out. Honestly, super cool, like super level-headed,
But
right?
do they kiss like a guy or a girl?
Like a girl, dude. It was
Okay.
awesome. But I hung out with Blair, and what's funny is we were posting all these like cute photos together, and then the girl that I was like seeing, I was like, "You know what, dude? Blair is actually really cool," and she goes. She changed my perspective on trans people. And she goes, "Oh, shut the fuck up," because she's hot, because we're posting photos together. And I was like, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, motherfucker. Like, I was like, she's so cool. I found myself like fucking, I was like, why am I flirting right now? But honestly, cool fucking person, right, in general. But what I'm saying is like, it doesn't matter what bullshit. They can literally have a penis, but if they're hot, you're like, oh, fucking. So, just being real. But anyway, it is what it is, brother. What's up, sucker? If you get my anyway, so yeah, dude, this chick would beat the fuck out of me, and so she's beating me the entire drive. Like, we end up going back. We drove to the border in Tijuana, and we got to drive like another hour back to the Marine base. And the whole time she's like, motherfucker, and she's close, bro. She's just socking me. She's biting me. I used to have a scar, but I tattooed over it. Or she took out a chunk of my arm and like spit it out. Right.
That's the girl that you were engaged to?
Yes. And wonder why it didn't work out. But anyway, we're driving back. And it's me and all my Marine buddies that I went to Iraq with. And dude, like my buddy Kyle driving.
Cow driver?
Cow driver, dude. He gave her the cow driver. But my buddy Kyle, I talked to him literally every single day. I went to school of infantry with him. I went to Iraq with him. I was even on a mission one time when a fucking explosion went off. And on the radio, they were like, mass casualty, mass casualty, mass casualty. And they were like, hey, let's get the fuck over here. Some Marines got hit. And my boy Kyle was in that platoon, and we hung out every fucking day. We have so many bullshit stories. And what's so funny is all the Marines were asleep. It was like 5:30, 6 in the morning. They were still asleep, and we're just kind of chilling on a post. And when I just joined the Marine Corps, I had a very Hispanic accent, right? I know I probably still have one now, but I used to tell my friends, dude, I went to Cancun last year for spring break, and they'd go, Governale, did you go to, all the white dudes, did you go to fucking Cancun? Did you go to Cancun, bro? Hey, fucking hey. And then that movie came out, fucking the Cops movie, whatever movie it was.
Which one?
The one with
Bad Boys?
Yeah, Bad Boys came out.
In Miami or whatever?
Yeah, and so there was a scene where this guy came out and he's like, a couple of grape sodas, right? And so everybody in the platoon, this is 2005, right? Everybody's like, Governale, a couple of grape sodas, and everybody would make fun of me. So a fucking explosion goes off. and like they're like mass casualty. We need QRF to grid, whatever the fuck it was. And they give us the coordinates, and I'm on watch. I'm like behind the machine gun, and I'm supposed to wake everybody up. So I'm like immediately, I'm like reveille, and I'm like and so I had an accent at the time.
Casualty.
So, yeah, so I was like mass casualty, and I'm panicking because I'm like, yo, our boys are burning. I see smoke and shit. And Marines are so fucked up and dark.
They want to make
they all
fun of you.
they all started waking up and putting their shit on, and they're like, mass casualty. And I was like, dude, like fucking, why are you guys making fun of me right now? Like our friend, but that's just how it is, man. You just kind of fuck around in these dark situations. So anyway, my boy Kyle was there, and I got there, and he was all bandaged up. He had a whatever. He was. I saw all my friends hurt, and that shit killed me, man. Like, seeing that was my best friend. And we're still boys. He's a lawyer now, and he lives in El Paso.
That's the one that we were gonna go. We were talking about that.
Yeah, bro. We talk every fucking stupid story in the Marine Corps I have is with that motherfucker, and we still talk to this every single day. We talk, man. And so we're boys, man. It's been man. I joined in 2004. We still talk every single day. 20 years, right? It's fucking dope as shit. But anyway, this guy's driving. And
cow driver.
Cow driver. He's driving, okay. And then I'm with like some other Marines, and she's just like, dude, just nonstop, wham, biting me. She's clawing my face. She's like, ah.
And you're just kind of sitting there.
I'm just sitting there, dude, just boom. And all my Marine buddies are like, Governale, dude, what the fuck, man? And I'm just like staring.
I love her.
I'm like, she's hot, bro. She has a penis. Nah, fucking. And she's hot, dude. She's just fucking beating me, dude. And we're driving. It's like an hour drive. And my friends are like, Tina, stop. And she's like, ah. And I just stopped, like, trying to, like, hold her wrist to, like, I just was like, fuck it. Chalk it up, brother. Like, And I'm just getting, like, closed fist. Like, she's clawing me and all this. And I'm just getting hit. And for some reason, like, again, she's half Korean, half Mexican. And, like, she has, like, her eyes look, Korean. And so for some reason, she's just like rambling on, you said, and she's just rambling, slurring her words because she's all drunk. And I just, for some reason, looked at her in that moment in front of all my Marine buddies. I hadn't said anything for like 10 minutes. I'm just sucking it up. And I just look at her and I just go, what's that, Tina? I don't understand you. And I go like this in my eyes and I go, white rice or brown rice, Tina? White rice or brown rice? And all my friends are like, ah! And they just start laughing and then she just fucking, ah! And she just boom, scratched me. And I was just like, all my friends are fucking dying of laughter because, like, I don't even know where that came from. Like, I'm not racist, But it was just the only thing. It was just the only thing
Not at
that I
all.
could think of in that moment. I was like, how do I just randomly piss her off even more? Because I'm getting fucking hit. Like, I could have been like, you're a bitch. She'd been like, that's cute. But for some reason, I was like, what's that, Tina? I don't understand you. White rice or brown rice, Tina? White rice or brown rice? And my friends just started screaming. That's the most racist shit I've ever done in my
Your
life.
job just called, said they let
Yeah,
off 1,000.
whatever.
1,001 people. They had room for one
It was-
more. It was
dude, I was
1,001.
literally joking. Like in the moment, like as fucking dark as it wasn't coming from a place of hate. I was just like, fuck it. Like nothing else I can do in this situation but joke around, kind of like when you get all blown up and you're just like, the situation sucked. And so what's crazy is we drove all the fucking way back to base. And she's like, I'm fucking leaving. Like, and so she wanted to sit outside like at 4 a.m. on the bus station, like by Camp Horno. You don't understand. Like, dude, all we're doing is going in and out of war. We're all fucking warped and crazy. A pretty woman cannot say, and it's going to sound super shitty for me to say this in the world we live in, 2024. But like, dude, the male, dude, males harassing and assaulting women, it's real. Like, don't be on a fucking Marine base at 4 a.m. by yourself on a bench looking beautiful. And then Marines are going to drive by. Like, you're setting yourself up for failure. And I'm not, Marines should not do that. Males should not do that. I want to make that disclaimer. But you're setting yourself up for a bad...
Thank you.
Right?
Sponsored by...
Yeah.
Thank you for that disclaimer on the What's Up Sucker podcast. That's
dude.
What's Up
dude.
Suckers.
Yeah, that's What's Up Suckers podcast, sponsored by do not
rape anyone.
sexually assault anybody.
Yes.
So, anyway, we're going, and we get back to base, and she's like, "Fuck you," and so she starts like she throws her purse at me, and all of her makeup flies out. And then she throws her luggage at me, and then I fucking panic, and then I just like
Put on her dress and start putting on makeup.
yeah, I was just like, fuck it, dude. I was like, white rice or brown rice? Like, fucking, no. And so
Spanish rice.
Dude, I fucking, I just grab her and I put her on the ground and I get on top of her. I'm dripping blood. And I was like, fucking stop it. And I'm like starting to yell, dude. She's yelling at me.
And
then
it's
I
4
see
in the morning and y'all are on base doing
yeah,
this?
dude, we're fucking yelling like crazy. Dude, the guy next to me kept coming to my room like, Justin Governable, you gotta keep it down, brother. You're gonna get in trouble, dude. And so
Because there's a duty officer.
yeah. And so I just got her makeup, dude. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck got into me. Again, she's like beating the fuck out of me. I'm dripping blood, bro. And I just grab her mascara brush and I go, you look so pretty when you're mad. And I start putting fucking mascara on and she takes it from my hand and she goes, ah, and she starts fucking, and she stabs me and it goes boom. And it goes right in my right eyeball, but in the lid. And it goes boom. And I was like, ah, fucking, dude, it was crazy. I just graduated sniper school. I was like, I'm blind. I'm fucking for sure blind. And then I started opening my eye and I could still see. Like, it fucking hurt, dude. I had a scar right here of a black mark for like 2.5 years.
Didn't they come in and stop it then with all that?
No. It kept going. It gets worse. And so, dude, I don't even know what happens. We start arguing. So I fucking get on top of her and I put her arms behind her back and I sit on her like lower back and I just go, you're not gonna fucking move until you stop fucking doing this, dude. Like, until you just stop fucking hitting me. And then she starts hyperventilating and she goes, goes unconscious. And in my crazy head, I'm like, I killed her. She's dead.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
She's
be like,
dead.
I got a freebie.
Yeah. I'm like, I did it. Yes. No. I'm like, why is it? I'm like, hey, well, Tina, wake up. And I'm just kind of panicking. I'm just like in a state of panic. But dude, you're not going to kill somebody by sitting on their fucking back.
They did to George Floyd.
Touche, right?
Yeah,
Touche.
touchy.
Yeah. And, yeah, so speaking of touchy, I throw her in the shower, right? But no, I do throw her in the shower. She's got all her clothes on and I just turn it on.
Was she hammered drunk that time?
Fuck, she was fucked up, dude. She was drinking, what do they call that shit?
MD 2020.
No.
Strawberry
It
Hill.
makes you hallucinate. It's like a hallucinogen.
yeah, hypnotic.
No, no, it's made out of
Absinthe.
wormwood. What is
Absinthe.
it? Absinthe. Yeah, so that's what absinthe or whatever. Absinthe. And so she was drinking it, and yeah, whatever. She drank that shit all night. She's like, and in Mexico they didn't like. In the U.S. you could buy it, but they like take out the wormwood. Like in Mexico they're like keep it. So she's beating the fuck out of me, all that. I throw her in the shower with all her clothes on. I turn on the shower, and she starts getting wet with all her clothes on, and she wakes up. What happened? And I was like, I'm like crying. And she's like, I'm sorry. And we started like making out, dude. She takes her clothes off. We'd only, it is whatever. We like end up hooking up in the shower, dude. We just like right then and there, I'm covered in blood. I'm fucking, she's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I love you. Right. And we're done. Right. And then fucking she starts arguing with me again. Right. And starts getting all fucking, puts her clothes on. She's like, I'm leaving. So she runs outside, and she was like, I'm gonna wait for the bus in the morning to come by. And she starts sitting on the bench. I was like, you can't be here, dude. Like, something's gonna happen to you. Just gonna wait with you. I'm gonna wait for the bus to pick you up, and we'll go our separate ways. But I'm not gonna allow you to just sit here. And across the street, a military police is just parked. And she's yelling at me, and I was like, hey, can you keep your voice down? And she knows that I would call them pogues, right? Which means personnel other than grunt. It's like military versus infantry versus non-infantry guys. Like, the guys that are on the line make fun of the people that aren't on the line because they're like, you don't do shit. It's stupid. They all have their job, but at the time, you're a young punk. And so she's like, oh, yeah, why do you want me to keep my voice down? Because those cops across the street, because those fucking pogue MPs, you're always talking. She starts yelling, dude. They fucking, sure enough, they turn their lights on. They pull up, and they fucking shine a bright flashlight on me. And I'm drenched in fucking blood, dude. And they pull their pistol out, and they shine a bright light on. And they're like, get your fucking hands in the air. And I'm so stressed at this point. I'm like, and I'm just sobbing. And they're like, get your Governale? It's a guy that I went to Iraq with. He was in my platoon, and he was getting out of the Marine Corps, but he didn't have enough time to do another deployment. So they stuck him in the military police. So he's fucking pointing a gun at me, and I'm like, and he's like, Governale? And he fucking puts his gun down, and he walks up to me. He's like, what the fuck happened to you? I'm fucking, dude, like, I am fucked up. And she doesn't have a mark on her, right? And so he's like, what happened? And then she's like, earlier, she was like, I'm going to tell him you hit me. I'm going to tell him you hit me. And I was like, fuck, dude, you can ruin someone's entire ass life, bro. And so I was like, in my head, I'm like, how are you going to fucking tell them that I'm covered in blood. You don't have a fucking scratch on you, you know? So she starts fucking, you know, and she starts just yelling at him. And then my buddy's like, you want me to cuff her and drive around and scare her? Drive around for an hour? And I was like, no, please. And he's like, then get the fuck back in your room, bro. Because like anyone else would have just arrested. All she has to do is say, you hit her, you're going to jail. It doesn't matter, right? And so I'm like, all right. So we go back to the room and we fucking hook up again.
God.
Yeah. And so we're done. And in the morning, she fucking wakes up and she slaps me. And so I show up to work, whatever. I took her to the airport. She leaves.
Were you off?
Yeah. It was on the weekend. So I showed up to work on Monday, and everybody's like, Jesus Christ, Governale, you get fucking thrown through a window. I remember they said that to me because I'm fucked up, dude. Like, dude, it was bad. And so they're like, Jesus Christ, Governale, you get jumped, you get thrown through a window. And I was like, no, my girlfriend beat me up. And he goes, what the fuck? Your ex, right? Your ex? And I was like, but she's hot, bro. Fucking. So we ended up dating for like another fucking 2.5 years. And then shocking, it ended fucking even worse, dude. Like, she ended up
That was just a mild.
She ended up getting pregnant with someone else and married while she was still dating me. She didn't even tell me she got married, right? Or that she was pregnant. And then one day she called me and she was like, she's like, don't come home. I was like, why? She's like, I'm pregnant and married.
My husband might get mad.
Yeah. And I was like, what?
My other family's here.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And so I was driving home. I was 22, dude. And I was driving back to Laredo, Texas to like go start my life with her and all that. And I think I was in New Mexico. Yeah, I think I was in New Mexico on the way back to Texas, right? And she tells me, like, on the phone with her as I'm driving home. And I'm like, I just got out of the Marine Corps, bro. Like, I'm fucking ready to go home and, like, start my life with this chick. And that's when she's like, I'm pregnant. I'm 4.5 months pregnant. And I'm married, or 5.5 months. She's like, don't come home, Justin. And I was like,
and she was in Laredo?
She was in Laredo, yeah. So I, like, pulled off in a rest area. And I just remember it was, like, 2 or 3 in the morning. And, like, people were trying to rest. And there's still people, like, walking around. And in my truck, I was like, like, sobbing, dude.
Like
and
Ben
people were
Stiller?
like, yeah. Yeah, and people were like, they're like walking around, looking at me all fucking weird. But that's how that relationship ended, right? But like,
damn, I'm sad to hear that one ended,
yeah,
dude. It sounded like she was a keeper, dude.
I mean, the sex was amazing, dude.
We got to get to. Oh, we got to wrap it up, dude. On this violent note.
Speaking of wrapping it up,
so what you got going on next, man?
Man, I got a comedy show at the end of the month. It's in Cali, right? It's by Fresno, California.
Bakersfield.
No, Bakersfield is in another area, but like it's by Fresno, and the comedy show is called Beyond the Barracks. It's for military. They're flying me out. I'm gonna do a headliner set. I'm gonna do I think I'm doing 30 minutes, right? It's gonna be fucking dope. This guy named Joey Leonard. He's Grunt Life on Instagram. I've worked with him before. He's there when the guy had the seizure, actually, right? I haven't seen him since. So it's gonna be fucking dope. Actually, I've seen him since. I'm full of shit.
When is that?
That's the last day of the month. I think on the 31st of this month.
This month. What are we in?
May.
We're May. Damn.
Yeah, and then I got some local show here in San Antonio next week
And the
on
station,
Friday.
you doing the station regularly?
I'm doing it regularly.
doing
The one
the
on
station
Friday,
too?
it's do you know who Chancla Academy is? The Chancla Academy.
No, but I've heard that.
It's he's got a ton of Instagram followers. He's funny as fuck, but he's a comic. I'm on a show with him this upcoming Friday, right? I don't know
Friday?
the details.
At what
Yeah.
time?
I need to get all the details. He hit me up and he's like, "You want to do 10 this Friday at this show?"
So they have a show and then they have a free show. They have a paid show, then a free
Oh, you're
show?
talking about this one's not at the station.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be somewhere down the street, but I'll probably
Oh.
still do the station at 11. And
Okay. Well, shoot, man.
that's about it, man. Other than that, I'm just working, trying not to get fired. Hopefully, none of them see this. Right.
Well, dude, we'll set up some stuff soon, man. I'm just still
I'm
sitting
sweating
it out.
from
I'm
telling
still
that
just
story, bro. That's
I'm still
fucking
just
crazy,
sitting it out
dude.
with my ankle still, so I ain't got nothing on the books yet, dude.
Anyway, so now I'm back with Tina, dude.
Oh,
and,
badass, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, if I could be your best man, dude, I'd be privileged, dude. I'd be honored.
Yeah.
Well, man, I will have you back on here again soon, see what's going on, dude. And
Yeah, man.
thanks for coming out, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Peace.